In this video, we're going to dive into instrument searching just a little bit, looking for the symbol that you may want to find in MetaStock. Now, the first place you would go for that in the Power Console here is Instrument Search. So if I click that button, it'll bring up a list of everything that's built into MetaStock as far as a symbol. Now, you may not have access to all these depending on what you're subscribed to, but these are the lists of everything that MetaStock offers. So you can go through and you can search through this, but it may be a lot. Let's take an example here. So if I were to search the term Apple by searching by name here, you can see there is a lot that contains Apple in here. So if I'm looking for the Apple symbol, it may be still a little bit confusing on what to look for because Apple trades across multiple markets, trades in the US and just about everywhere globally. So we want to find the one that's specific to the markets that I trade. Now, an easy way to do that is to actually just go in and set what markets you actually trade in MetaStock, and then it will only search those markets for you, and then it'll narrow down your list. So let's show you how to do that. To do that, we go to the instrument box up here in MetaStock. We right-click and go to Manage Public Lists. Now, this will pop open a list of all the lists that are built into MetaStock when you get it by default. So here what we're going to do is say, I only do the US markets. So that's what I want to add into my Power Console. So I'm going to search here. I want to add in Equities North America. Now, I could grab this whole group by holding down my Shift button and selecting all of them. But I don't do the Canadian markets myself. You may, so you may want that. But I'm just going to select the markets I want. And to do that, I'm going to hold down the Control button and just select the markets that I would like to see. Once I do that, I click Add, and it adds in everything. Now, note, you will need one of these headers over here for it to subcategorize it. Now, the other thing I like a lot, and I use in scanning and other things that we'll talk about in other videos, is I like to see what are called index constituents. So when you say things like the Dow 30 or the S&P 500, I like those lists a lot. So I'm going to add those in. I'm also going to add in top world indices, so I can search those. And then I'll do index constituents, and I will hold down my Control button again, and I will select the Dow Jones Industrials, which is the Dow 30. We'll do the S&P 100, 400, 500, 600, and the NASDAQ 100. So those will be my lists that I will add over. Now there's other lists like sectors that you can do in here. There's FOREX. There's a wide array of things that you can do here. Let's actually add in the FOREX major pairs as well, because I do like to look at those. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add those. Click OK and save, and then I'll click Close. And now you can see my lists here in the Power Console are much shorter. So if I go back to Instrument Search, now when I search Apple, you can see it's a much smaller list. So this will be the only one I'm looking for in my market. So I can just select Apple, click OK, and then I can open up my chart and proceed. So selecting those lists in the Power Console settings to say only the markets you trade is a big part of setting up your MetaStock. So I highly recommend that you do that. Hope you found this video useful for helping you in finding instruments, symbols on a daily basis. Keep on watching, and thanks for stopping by.